I'm feeling for a few squats today. I think that'll be quite nice. We're going live on YouTube, Facebook, Wednesday morning. Think of it as really just waking yourself up, not necessarily thinking of exercise. It's just some really fun, interesting movements. Explore how it feels as you move, how it feels when we're resting in between each of the moves. And let's get started. Find yourself a space. And I've lost my other glasses. Where's my glasses gone? Oh, well, I can't see anybody. But if I put the other glasses on, they're reading glasses and I can't see even worse. But this is fine. I can hopefully see the screen there. Find yourself a space to the sides of you. Make sure you've got room forwards and back. And taking your feet shoulder width apart. Let me just get rid of that. Let's start with knocking. Zoom the camera out. So nice and connected to the ground, and it's rotating. Hips and waist, spine long. Breathing in and out through the nose. I had a really interesting experience the other night. I went to an osteopath here in Porto, because usually in the UK I had friends, clients, colleagues who are osteopaths, so the team there I would go and see, and I had not seen an osteopath here since I've been here. And I was recommended this guy by the lady in the organic shop, really nice lady in the organic shop. Went to this guy, long story short, did loads of weird, different things, not weird, sorry, different things in terms of what I'd experienced with osteopathy previously. But he did vagus nerve stimulation. And we've talked about this in all our breath work, in humming and things like that, and how that stimulates the vagus nerve, and that helps to send a signal of safety and relaxation and calm through the body. He used a light in my ear, and I have never experienced anything like it. I was laid on the massage couch. I literally melted into the couch. So literally just felt particularly my arms, my shoulders, my hands, my fingers, everything just relaxing. And then when I stood up, obviously rested a little bit, stood up, there was the sensation, that tingling sensation. It was almost like water running through the scalp, down the back of the neck and down the spine. It was just this amazing sensation through the body. So that was, I've never experienced anything like that before. So just really good quality, proper vagus nerve stimulation. And I know there's a lot of stuff on the internet. I've never really tested any of these things out where you put like something around your neck and it stimulates the vagus nerve. Don't know how they work or whether they work, but this certainly was a good experience. And then slow it down. Water waves. And then just taking a moment, bringing your feet hip width, standing tall. Just tuning in, noticing how you're feeling. And then stepping back out. A little bit of a sit back, tilting the pelvis, opening the chest, getting that ripple, that wave through the spine, spinal cord breathing. And here we breathe with the movement, or move with the breath, breathing in, breathing out. Finding your rhythm. Opening as you breathe in the chest, the throat. Let's do a couple more. And then take a moment, just standing tall. Again, just checking in how that feels. If you think about how our nervous system is affected, it's affected by the internal environment, about thoughts, chemicals, hormones, etc. But it's also then affected by the external environment. So movement is creating, in a way, an internal and an external environment. So how does the breath change? How do you feel after you've done that little bit of movement? Does the breath maybe slow naturally when you check in with it? How does the body feel? And then let's step back out, and a little bit of dog wags the tail. Really getting that ripple, that wave through the spine, side to side. See if we can get that ripple as well, particularly through the upper body, or upper back and neck, not forcing anything. And then slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. Usually, sometimes I find that one really helps with that elasticity of the rib cage. So sometimes when you stop from that one, that you feel as if you've got that little bit more space. So the breath will slow a little bit. If we've got more space to breathe into, just naturally that breath will slow without you having to force that or deliberately slow the breath. So one of the things I've been exploring in my in running, it's quite easy to be a little bit locked in the rib cage and become a little bit solid and a little bit stiff in the rib cage. So another exercise that I'd like to do is just a little bit more actively moving that rib cage. So almost like creating like a figure of eight. It's a bit like this, but I'm not using the hips. So just actively, almost like doing a little bit of rotation through the rib cage. Again, not forcing or pushing anything. So I'm moving the ribs side to side, a little bit more stable here in the hips. Making my stomach rumble. Not great if you've had a massive big breakfast yet. I haven't had a massive big breakfast, but if you had a big breakfast and then have a little shake out. So shake out the arms. Do a bit of a washing machine, so tapping the heels into the ground. You can tap both heels, or you can do a little bit of alternate heels really quickly, get that vibration going. Just do a bit of cleansing and clearing breath, so breathing in and letting go. And slowing down, slowing down. And noticing how the breath settles. Do a little bit of balance. So balancing on, if I'm mirroring you, on your right leg, and then we're just going to do a big ankle circle opposite leg. So this is great because we're getting that movement and that work through the ankle, but we're also doing our single leg balance. Change direction. Feel all of the fascia through the lower leg as well. So really working shins, calf, and then give that ankle a good shake. Feels as if it needs to click. And then just stand for a moment, see how that feels. Again, you may feel down that whole side of the body a little bit more tingling sensations. And then balance on that side. And same thing. Goes without saying, if there's any pain, you stop. If the breathing drastically changes or you're holding the breath, stop. We want to be breathing through it. And change direction. And have a good shake of that ankle. And now we've got some nice stable base on our feet. Let's go shoulder width apart. And then just do some tiger squats. So claws engage, that engages the back, keep the chest lifted, lower, and then slowly back up. And as we come back up, I want you to consciously engage the muscles around the legs. So almost like squeeze the muscles in the legs, squeeze the bum, squeeze the glutes. Really using that lower body to control that movement back up, not throwing ourselves back up. Breath is nice and easy. You can either breathe with the movement up and down or just breathe easy in and out through the nose. The idea is we don't need to use the breath to move. If we can go a little bit lower, that's fine. Just go to the point where you feel it challenging, but you can still come back up from that comfortably without holding the breath, without having to use an exhale to push yourselves up. You can just breathe very easily. Do 2 more. Come up to standing and then let the breath settle. You almost get that feeling that the breath is catching up. The heart rate is increasing a little bit, but then you'll feel it just slowing down, calming down. We're going to take a step back. So 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back. Now that back foot, you're just going to be on the ball of the foot, and it's a little bit wider than the hip, a little bit more outside of the hip. And we're just going to come down on that front leg. So you've still got connection through that back leg, but we're just emphasizing a little bit more weight down that front leg. Still use that back leg, still use the ball of the foot of the back leg to help stabilize and also to help push up. But we just got a little bit more weight through that front hip. Same thing with that idea of just sort of like squeezing the muscles around the bones. So engage the muscles to help you stand. Engage the fascia to help you stand. Let's do a couple more. Rest again, just take a moment. If you feel when you're finished, there's that sense of I want to take a fuller breath and let that breath go. That's good. And then you let the breath settle. Feel that heart rate coming down. Other side. So step forwards, the other side, step back. So we've still got the ball of the foot there connected to the ground. Focus on this side, lowering down. Still using that back leg though. Breathing easy. Couple more. Steady, smooth, rhythmical. Take a rest. If you feel again that breath. What is nice with that reset breath, that change of state breath, is that bit of cleansing and clearing is any CO2 that has accumulated, you can expel that in one breath, and you can come back to calm, relaxed breathing. It also brings the heart rate down. So the heart rate will go up, so just helps just to bring that heart rate down. Then let's go a little bit wider apart. So nice and wide there. And again, you choose the width of this one because it really is dependent on the hip complex, mobility in the hips, etc. So again, I really don't want you to force anything here, but this is a little bit more challenging, and just make sure you feel comfortable on the knees. So we'll break this down into simple movements first. The first movement is you take the hips back and then we shift to one side. So you're almost like sitting back, and then the weight is more predominant through this hip. You get that nice little length there through the adductor muscles, through the inside of the leg, and then you just come back up and we go to the other side. So hips back first, then shift the weight, and then making sure you do not force this. Tall hips back. This foot stays on the ground. Hips back first. Draw hips back. And again, we're not forcing anything, we're just going really nice and steady. You could stop at any time in this movement, you could recover from the movement. We're not putting ourselves in any position where you could injure yourself. I don't know if Tom's screen is frozen or if Tom's frozen on Zoom. I think it's his screen. Hope it's his screen. Let's do a couple more. Should feel nice again in the hips. And then stand tall and walking the feet together. If you feel you need a little bit of a shake out with the hips there, it's his screen, he's gone. How are we time-wise? Let's do a little bit of flow. Qigong flow just to finish. So breathing in. And breathing out as I mind the plant. Breathing in, breathing out. And then interlocking your thumbs, resting on the lower dantian and just closing your eyes. Full breath in through the nose. Opening your eyes, stepping out. Let's press the palms together. So pushing the palms together there, bending the elbows, down the back. Let's do that once again, pressing the palms together, bending the elbows. One more. I need one more. Palms together. Bend the elbows. Coffee time. Yes. Excellent. Hopefully that has got the blood flowing, got the energy flowing, got you set up for the day. As always, if you've got any questions, give me a shout in the DMs or in Zoom or whatever, or email me. And have a great rest of the day. Thanks as always for joining, and I will see you for yet another start of another week next week on Monday. And I hope Tom's all right. He's disappeared off Zoom, so I do hope he's all right. Somebody text him quickly. Thanks a lot. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye.